Hello everybody, I'm Matt and you're watching the next episode of Rock&Roll Nation interviews, and this time I have a really special guest. We are here in Goleniów with Rob of TYGERS of TANG.
How are you doing, everybody? It's fantastic to talk to you all.
And fantastic to have you in Poland, I think for the third time right now.
Third time, yes. We've played Metal Mania, I think, in
2017, I think.
Katowice. And then a few years earlier, we played an indoor festival.
It was also in...
Was it in Katowice?
It was also in Katowice,
yes,
I think.
Yes, I think it was. Can't remember which year it was, though.
I think 2009, as I checked previously. So it's a hell of a time.
You've done your homework. Yes, that was yes. Crikey, yes. In fact, we didn't even have. I didn't have Craig, our drummer. He was. I can't remember why he couldn't come. So we had one of his students who he taught how to play drums, and he very kindly agreed to come out and sit in the drum seat.
So I'm shocked that it isn't taped in any way, because as I was searching any footage on YouTube, I think it's just like one clip from Metal Mania from 2017.
Yes.
That is.
Yeah, there's quite a few photographs from Metal Mania because the venue is superb.
Yeah, and the festival, it's a legendary festival in Poland.
Absolutely, but I don't think it's happened again, has it?
It's held from time to time right now, I think.
Right.
It's not a yearly festival. It was a big thing in the 80s.
Yeah.
Just like the Killer, I don't know if the poster is visible here, but Killer played on the first Metal Mania, for example.
I think that's probably not a bad idea, because when you have Metal Mania again, it's special because it's not every year.
Yeah.
So that can be a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we talked, you were 2 times in Poland. How do you remember these shows apart from this unique replacement?
Well, Poland's a fantastic place to come, and the people are so kind and so lovely. Here, crikey, it's like being like the Rolling Stones. The hospitality is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Rock Hard Ride 3 are amazing, guys, so come to Goleniów, because they are just like, you're coming and you get, oh, hi, Jack.
Yeah, it's crikey, yes, yes. There was a bar in the bus on the way back from the airport last night. It was something else. So yes, Poland is a lovely place to come and visit, and hopefully we can do some more shows here.
Hopefully. I already saw that Jack flew here yesterday, and he is just like 200% in Poland right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, we're all in a good place. We're all up for tonight, definitely.
Yeah, because as we talked previously, we've already talked like 3-4 years ago.
Yes.
And as long as I remember, you were talking about planned shows with Saxon in 2020 on March, and we know what happened. And
yes.
How did you survive those times? Because it was tough for everybody.
It was awful for everybody, absolutely awful. For the whole music industry, inside and out. There are so many venues have gone. We say in England, gone to the wall. They've gone bust. They didn't survive, unfortunately, and it's always a shame when a good music venue, is no more, because they're expensive to set up and open and build up the people coming there every week. So it's
and the name.
And the venues get reputations, and people go, oh, I'm going to go down to see whichever band, at my favourite venue. So it was catastrophic. It really was. But we're survivors, and it's what happened. You couldn't do anything about it. So we had to find smarter ways of keeping our head above water. We've got a great manager. A guy called Tom Noble, and he's full of fantastic ideas, and he's the 6th member of the band. He really is tremendous. He does all our social media for us.
And that's the great thing to have the guy that it's not on stage, but he's everywhere but on stage.
Absolutely, and when you can't be on stage because of a pandemic, then you have to be everywhere else, so people can still see that you're still existing, you're still alive, you're still going. And in that time, we one guitar player left, and we recruited for a new guitar player, and we had guitar players from all over the world auditioning. Via video link. And Francesco Barros, who is the new TYGERS fantastic lead guitar player, believe it or not, he's been in the band 2 years, and where's 2 years gone? Gone.
Where the hell are these 2 years?
Well, yeah,
right?
the first year, of course, was COVID and lockdown. And when he joined the band, we tried to fly him over 3 times, but either the UK was in lockdown. He was living in Germany at the time, so Germany was in lockdown as well. Yeah. And it just never happened. So I started sending him song ideas, and we decided, or management decided, that it would be a good idea if we released an EP with Francesco playing on it, of course, to showcase his talents.
Yeah, sure.
So
I think two new songs and 2 older ones.
And 2 old songs, right. And Red Mist, Francesco and I wrote together. A New Heartbeat, Jack and Francesco wrote. And we decided A New Heartbeat was going to be the lead single off the EP. And on the flip side, on the B side of the EP, was going to be 2 old tracks. It was originally going to be 1 old track, actually. And I rang Francesco and I said, "What's your favourite old TYGERS song?" And he said, "Killers" from Wildcat, which was released in 1980. And I said, "Okay, great choice. Are you okay? For us to play Killers? Give it a twist, give it a bit of new life." And he said, "Yeah, great, yeah, absolutely." So we recorded that, and we're recording all in our own home studios, all remotely, because obviously we couldn't get together. And I was driving along the road one day, and I thought to myself, why does it just have to be 3 songs? If it's going to be an EP, why can't it be 2 new songs and 2 old songs? So I rang Tom and I said, "Tom, can we record another old song?" And he said, "What are you thinking?" And I said, "Well, 2 new, 2 old." And he said, "Which song do you want to do?" And I said, "I've got a burning desire to do Fire Clown." As a band, we haven't played it for about 40 years.
And now it's on a set list, as I've seen.
Yes, we open we've got 2 more shows with this current set, and then in March it all changes.
All right.
We have 2 days of intensive rehearsals, and we're learning a completely new set because we have a new album coming out, and we obviously have to put new songs into the set, and some songs have to go. So we've got 7 in and 7 out. So it's quite a big change. So we need to be on our best learning behaviour to make sure that we can achieve this in 2 days.
Any spoilers about a new album? Because we have already a new single released.
Yes, new single was released last Friday, which is called Edge of the World, which is the opening track of the album. The album artwork and title will be released next month, I think, along with the next single. There will be 3 singles from before the album is released.
I think just like Ritual had.
Just to give people a taste, and hopefully make sure that they spend their hard-earned pennies when the album comes out, because I'm dying for people to hear it. It's really, really good, honestly.
That's the best spoiler you could ever do, I think.
Well, do you know, I think of every band's career as a staircase. So not a stairway to heaven or a highway to hell, nothing like that. Just as stairs in your house. And if you want to get to the top, you have to ascend, you have to go up. So every time you release an album, you want to go up another step. There's no point in going down because that means you made a worse album. So you're always wanting to go up one step. But as a band or as an artist, you can never reach the top. Because once you've reached the top, you've got nowhere to go.
Yeah, and you can do the same thing again and again, and it
exactly. You're kind of saying to everybody, "Well, we've reached the top. We've got nowhere to go," and that's never a situation you want to be in. So you want to go up, and steadily the Tigers, since I put the band back together again in 2000, we've steadily gone up a stair each time we've had a new album out. But this album, I truly believe we've got up we've jumped 2 stairs. Honestly, it is that good.
I really can't wait to hear it because some of your friends already released amazing albums. I mean, Praying Mantis did a Catharsis, and it's an amazing album. I love it.
Yep.
Satan, Earth, Inferno, it's also an amazing album.
Ooh.
So I can't wait to hear the new stuff.
Well, we have a ballad on there with a big grand piano. But is it a ballad or does it
balladish?
Yeah, maybe yeah, absolutely. There's everything on that you want. There's fast songs. There's mid-paced rockers. But it's Tigers. It's absolutely Tigers. And Francesco's guitar playing is outstanding. We've got a new bass player. Hugh's been in the band coming up a year. His bass playing is outstanding as well. Of course, Craig has been with me for 23 years now.
Yeah.
And Jack has been with us 2004 he joined.
Something like this, I think.
Yeah, so that's 23, so that's 9 no, what's that? 2004, 2024, that's 19 years, isn't it? Yeah. So
already adult.
Yeah, we're the old boys.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's lots coming up, and it's all very exciting.
And speaking back about something in the past, because you were in the band since the beginning up to around 85 to 83.
Yep.
And then was a breakup. The John Deverell who came during the Hellbound sessions and Hellbound album created his, let's say, version with Brian Dick, as I remember correctly, and you did a Tiger project with Jazz.
I did, yeah, and I was also I also put together a band called Sargent, and both projects were recorded albums.
Any chances to hear more? Because I think that the first on the first few compilations with some demos, and there was a one Tiger song.
There was, yeah, Small Town Flirt, yeah. Tiger will never ever happen. I know that. But Sargent, the material that we recorded, that might see the light of day. In time, I don't know. I really don't know. It's been talked about, but there's lots of proper Tigers to be getting on with. It's we certainly don't want to release anything that might turn people's heads slightly away from what we want them to focus on.
Yeah, I'm asking about it as a let's say diehard bootleg collector, because I love old forgotten recordings, some demo outtakes. That's why I'm asking about Tiger and these times.
Yeah, nothing from Tiger. I don't even think I've still got the songs that were recorded. I think that maybe they were destroyed along the way. I don't know. We've still got the Sargent. I've still got the Sargent recordings. Because Brian Dick was the drummer in Sargent, the original Tigers drummer. So I don't know, but in the future, maybe we'll see.
Okay, and speaking about this, I don't say that you talk about the Tiger reunion, etc. But you did one reunion with Jazz in 1999 at Wacken. How did it happen more broadly? Because I know that there was some kind of NWOBHM commemoration during the WEIR.
There was.
I was just like 2 years old, so that's why I'm asking.
Jess apparently got a phone call from the organisers of WEIR. I think WEIR was only 10 years old then. He got asking if the Tigers would be interested in getting back together again to celebrate 20 years from the start. Because obviously...
Don't Touch Me There is like 79.
So. 79, that's right, yeah. So he rang me and he said, would you be interested in playing a one-off show? I had left the music business, sold all my guitars, all my amplifiers, because of what had happened in the business earlier on, you know, in the 80s, you know, in like mid-late 80s. I just walked away from the music business. I still bought records, and I still collect. I still listen to everybody who was playing. I still went to concerts, went to shows, but just didn't play. And when I got the phone call, it took me about half a second to say yes, I'll do it. And I said, "Or is everybody doing it?" And Jess said, I'm ringing round everybody to see, you know, who can do it and who can't. Anyway, it turned out, unfortunately, that Brian, Rocky, John Deverell and John Sykes were all super busy with what they were doing at the time. So Jess and I went out just to do the Wildcat songs, really, because obviously that's all Jess appeared on, was Wildcat. And we hired 3 local musicians who had been in and out of Blitzkrieg, I think.
Yeah, I think they were connected with Blitzkrieg,
yeah.
Something like this.
And off we went out. We had 4 rehearsals, and off we went out to play this cracking festival. And when I was on the plane, I was told that we were headlining on the Friday night. And I said, oh my goodness, that's I don't think we should be headlining, but okay. So we had Saxon on before us, we had Dockett on before us, we had Hammerfall on before us, all huge acts, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, how are we going to, you know? Girls' School were playing in a tent, you know, they weren't on the main stage, I don't think. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. We went on stage at 1 o'clock in the morning. To 22,000 people. So, I mean, Wacken now is 100,000, I think.
Yeah, it's a huge festival.
Absolutely, but you know, it was still growing then. But even at 1 o'clock in the morning, I thought everybody would be back in their tents, fast asleep. I thought we'd be playing to 10 people and a dog. But no, there was 22,000 people there, all waiting to see us, and that was quite some sight. And the show was recorded, and it was put out on Spitfire Records, I think, an American label. It's called Live at Wacken.
And I've seen some audience recordings also. Yeah. They are here and there. So seeing this lineup live, because I think there are some video footage from the Wildcat stuff, but I think none of these are the full-length shows. I think nobody taped.
No,
right
well,
then.
you're talking. We didn't have video cameras like this. Yeah. We didn't have mobile phones. We didn't have internet.
Now it's easy.
Now it's easy. Yeah, there was nothing like that back then. So, crikey, if you've got a mobile phone these days, you've got a recording studio. You can do anything on your phone. You know,
we can do a multicam just with.
They're amazing pieces of kit. Absolutely, yeah. So technology has come a long, long way. Crikey, yes.
Yeah. Now, as I grab some audience shot boots from the 80s, it's like now it's easy to even hide the camera and to took it on a stadium, and just right then you have this 8mm big stuff. I can't imagine to hide it anywhere and put it go through the gates and put it.
Yeah.
In the audience, so
absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
I was stunned when I've seen some footage of Judas Priest from 1975 that was shot, I think, with 16mm camera or 8mm. So seeing this kind of stuff, anything from your times in your vaults survived from those times?
And you know, it's such a shame because I would have loved to have seen, 1, 2, 3, 4 of our shows being filmed, just for me to have a look back at the footage, of the Cage tour or the Spellbound tour when we were playing big city halls with a huge stage show that we toured around with us.
If anything would pop up, I will totally send it to you.
Yeah, well, there's very few photographs around as well. Very few.
The same thing with Praying Mantis. I mean, they weren't active for a long time in the 80s, but when they came back also from the 10th anniversary of NWOBHM movement in Japan, I've just came across the footage of shot in Japan with Paul Diano, and I was like, wow, it exists. So it popped here and there. So having it, we will see if anybody digs something in the...
Absolutely, yeah. It's My very first band, if we go back to 1976, was called Trick, and I really wish. I don't think there's any. There's one photo which was made into a poster of the band, but long before people had mobile cameras, video cameras, and
it was even quite expensive to have a photo camera.
Yeah,
right there.
oh God, absolutely, and I so wish that band had been videoed, because it was just it was almost like a comedy heavy metal band.
Long way before Spinal Tap.
Way before Spinal Tap. Way before. I mean, I had long hair right down here, and I played in kind of like a heavy metal sort of style. The bass player had long hair, but he was into the Crusaders and that kind of jazz funk, and played in that kind of style. The drummer was like a rhythm and blues drummer, so he just tapped his drums a little bit, and didn't really, he wasn't really a Tommy Aldridge. He didn't really get into it. And our singer was a punk who used to sing in his pajamas.
Oh my God.
So it was just, but we used to play
4 different worlds.
4 different
colliding.
worlds, but we used to play AC/DC, Motorhead, Black Sabbath, Rush. I mean, it was crazy, the stuff we used to play. But with these 4 styles all trying to rub together, it was, which is why I'd love to have seen how, but
Only in memories.
Only
right
in memories, and they're very, very thin on the ground. Yes, never mind. There you go.
All right, that's really nice to hear everything. These little gems from your past.
Well,
So,
yeah,
and I've already mentioned these 2 albums that John and Brian did in the 80s, and you weren't there, unfortunately. And I know it can be a little bit controversial, but how did you get into these albums? Were angry that these guys put a TYGERS back in?
No, not at all.
And how do you like those albums after that time, listening to the Wreckage or Burning in the Shade? Yeah, I know it's a bit soft question.
Yeah, I haven't really given them much thought. They're okay. They're all right. They're what they felt was right at the time. It's mid-late 80s. The music scene was it was not very AOR. It was more grunge, and there were lots of different genres developing. Like Pearl Jam and Nirvana and all that kind of.
They were all starting, because it's like 85, 87, I think, these albums, so the Poison exploded.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So it was probably a very difficult time to release the sort of material that they wrote, and did. I think it only lasted 2 years, and they obviously were struggling with the scene, because it didn't make any headway, and they broke up.
Yeah, I think the British NWOBHM scene was breaking down, because during, I don't know, 86. Slayer was on the other hand, Poison Cinderella in the States. As I think, let's say, British glam metal scene, I think about Wrathchild, for example, from the NWOBHM movement, Rankle Sun,
Tiger Tails,
of course.
Yeah.
But still, it wasn't that big in Britain, I think, as much as in the States. The States were number one right then. So
I would agree with you, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wasn't in the music business then, so it's, you know, I probably wasn't even, as I say, I was still buying and collecting music, but I don't even remember listening to either of the albums particularly. Maybe there was something inside me deep down that didn't want to. I don't know, but
that's why I wasn't 100% sure to ask this question.
No. There's no questions off limit at all. And you know, I talked to most of the old members now. You know, John Sykes and I were due a catch up actually, but we kind of email, talk to each other probably about 3 or 4 times a year. So John Devlin's an actor in the West End of London and goes out touring with the company that he works for. You know, I speak to John, you know, and you know, when it's his birthday, wish him a happy birthday, and you know, we're all on good friendly terms.
That's really good to hear.
Life is too short to fall out with people.
That's really great to hear.
Yeah.
So some things were in a particular place in time, and
everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Everything happens
That's
for a reason.
That's what I wanted to say.
Absolutely. Everything happens for a reason. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and coming back to the end, because as I've seen in the schedule, you have some stuff planned already. And the last question, something out of anything connected to the music.
Yeah.
I think I've already asked it, but connected also to the whole band. If you were dinosaurs, would you be a carnivore or herbivore, and why?
Oh, great question. I would be a carnivore that still ate herbs. Because I like spices. So I like hot food. Not ridiculous, but I like chilies. I like my food to have a bit of a bite to it, and I adore garlic. It's my very very favourite is anything with garlic in it. So garlic and chili, and all the boys in the band know. You know. I'll tell you a quick little story as well, just to finish off, which happened yesterday actually. You know, if I have a nice curry. I like chili, I like garlic, I love coriander. So herbs play a very big part in flavouring your meat.
Yeah.
That's so that there is your answer.
All right, and the rest of the guys, what do you think?
The rest of the guys. Okay, so Jack and Craig are definitely carnivores, but like chili and garlic the same as me, but not to the same level. Francesco is a carnivore, but likes plain food. And Hugh is a herbivore.
All right. Don't eat them. Don't eat him.
No,
please don't.
No. So yesterday when I was driving down from Newcastle to Craig, who lives about an hour away from Manchester Airport, which is where we were flying from into Berlin. I was speaking to him in my car when I was driving, hands-free, everybody. I wasn't making a phone call. And he said to me, he says, when you come down, he said, I was in a shop the other day and I bought some onion relish, but it has jalapeno chilies in it. Whoa. And he said, I made myself a sandwich with it, and he said, it was just far too hot. All I could taste was chili, and it was burning my mouth. Far too hot. He says, it's in the fridge. He says, come down. And he says, when you leave, when you go back home on Sunday night, Monday morning, he said, take it with you and finish a jar because it's too hot for me. I can't eat it. So I said, okay. When I come down, I'll taste it. I'll put a teaspoon in and I'll taste it and I'll tell you whether it's hot or not. So I walked in his kitchen and he said, there it is. He says, right, taste it and you tell me. He says, because honestly, it's too hot. So I took a big teaspoonful, put it in my mouth and said, Craig, all I can taste is onion. I can't taste any chilies at all. And he went, oh, God, I knew you were going to say that. I said, honestly, it's not hot whatsoever. So he said, oh, I can't take it. He says, you'll have to take it away. So I said, yeah, absolutely, that's fine. No problem at all. So yeah, I think, I don't know what's happened, but maybe I've burnt all my taste buds out. I don't know. But yeah, I do like nice spicy food.
I'm not really into this really spicy thing, so I would probably be dying right then.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, no, I do like spicy stuff, yeah.
All right, so yeah, half an hour of talking, so thank you really much. It went really fast.
It did, absolutely. Thank you very much. Cheers, everybody. It's just orange juice. It'll be Jack Daniels after the show, though.
Yeah. So thank you very much for watching. Rob of TYGERS of TANG. It was a pleasure to talk. It was a pleasure to spend some time with you.
Thank you very much indeed. And if you're interested, hopefully you are, the new album, which I can't tell you the title of yet, is released on Target Records on May the 5th. Friday, May the 5th. That's the big day.
Feel free to check, to buy CDs, LPs, cassettes, I don't know, laser discs, DVDs.
My goodness, yeah, yes. I mean, yeah, but the vinyl is black vinyl and blood red vinyl. There you are.
So it will be bloody good.
Blood red, yes. There's a clue there, but we're not going any further.
All right. So thank you very much. Hopefully, have an amazing show tonight.
Thank you. Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of
Thank
the
you much. Yeah,
TYGER year.
I think we're nearly sold out tonight, so that's really good.
Yeah. So
see you soon. Bye, everybody.
See ya.